Hello everyone, it's Metal Monster here, and I am finally in Skyrim. But first of all, I'm going to make a wish list for Elder Scrolls 6. So first of all, we'll talk about the main quest. The main quest is usually the last thing you do in any Bethesda title. It is usually less fun than the side quests, a bit more underwhelming too. So in these points I'll present in, we can see how we can improve these things. A better storyline, a more deep, emotional and just really interesting storyline would be way better than Skyrim's. I think it can be done through characters and how it's set up, so maybe having a village that you were a part of being destroyed, all the people you know's gone, and also like creates role playing, so where did you come from and stuff, so you could do that all yourself and stuff. Boss battles. Boss battles in Skyrim are a bit of a letdown. You had the dragons, and they were really tough to fight first couple of times, but then they got really easy, and they just weren't a boss anymore, they were just like a mild nuisance. So we're probably making the bosses in Elder Scrolls 6 a bit more advanced. They do different stuff, maybe they turn ethereal at one point, and makes it harder for you to fight them, and so on. Complex characters. Complex characters are the main driving force of any game. They are really well done in like Skyrim and Oblivion and stuff, but for some reason in the story, the main story, there's always lacking that really good character that you just can't get enough of. There was like Nick Valentine in Fallout 4 that I really liked, so maybe sort of like another really good character that's been through a lot and has a background and very interesting. Intertwining quests. So say you're the leader of the companions, you could use them to defeat Alduin with you, so creating a new interesting twist. Also, if you're the archmage, you could use other mages that are at your disposal in defeating Alduin too. So I reckon this will create an interesting storyline, make it more complex, so maybe your characters have second thoughts about this, and I think this would be really good in the Elder Scrolls 6, like creating more complex characters and intertwining quests. World changes, so there has to be a so say there was a village that's been destroyed, people would comment on it and say, oh my god, what's happened here and stuff like that, and then when you make changes to that area, people will also comment and probably react and do stuff themselves instead of you have to do everything yourself. So I reckon that would be much better. Gameplay changes. This is a big must. The combat, the magic, the perk system, all that really needs a really good do-over, and more interactive and more interesting. So we'll be discussing them in these topics to come. Perk changes. My god, they need to be redone. How many times do you have to level up before you do 70% damage more than you originally did? I think it's just ridiculous. It needs to be more interactive, more interesting. So say you were like fighting, you could take your opponent's weapon out of his hand and stab it with it or something like that. Just something interesting. Combat changes. What I would like to see is a wide variety of weapons being used. Plenty of new animations and interesting way, and oh yeah, don't forget kill moves. They have to be pretty good. More gruesome maybe, or just be more interesting. And it needs to be very, so you feel like you're getting more powerful too when you add a perk to combat. Magic changes. So Skyrim messed up magic quite a bit. There was far less spells. So I think there needs to be way more spells, as well as they be more interesting, more complex. God, word of the video, interesting. Just make it more better, basically. Beef them up, and they just need to have different effects and do like really cool stuff. So additional changes. They need to make the armor more complex, more interesting, a crafting system for swords so you can change each part of your sword, and a more complex enchanting system. Just instead of dulling it down, just make it more complex and more of a learning curve, like they did in Oblivion and Morrowind and stuff. So it was far more interesting to learn about and to do, to be honest. Cities and locations. These need to be redone in the Elder Scrolls 6 to be much bigger and better than Skyrim's, because we had cities like Falkreath, Whiterun, Morthal that were quite typical and just really boring to walk around in. There wasn't much going on. There needs to be more people and just probably more quests there, to be honest. A really good thing was Solitude, where they had the execution thing, but that's about it. Better NPCs. That is a must. They must look better. They mustn't look really weird. Like, people don't look like that. So they need to be more complex, more in depth too, so you can have a proper conversation with them. Because like some of them just say one sentence at you, and you don't get to say anything back to them. And that was quite annoying, so that is a must. Better NPCs. Better graphics. Yes, Bethesda games ain't about graphics, but they just need to look a bit better. If they look like Fallout 4, I'll be happy with that. But they need to improve like the face textures, so it looks like, and the lip syncing, that definitely needs improving, because that's just god awful. But yes, they just need to look like people, or believable, whereas they're just not in Skyrim and Fallout 4 in my opinion. Better interactions with NPCs. So it needs to have the dialogue system of Fallout 4, just without the voice. And I reckon like you could trade with it, like Oblivion. You could talk to him and get to know him better, or you know, like that little mini game that they had. But don't make it a mini game. Make it like I don't know. You give them gifts and stuff like that, and then perhaps they could follow you in the end and stuff, or teach you unique things and stuff like that. I reckon that'd be really good. A better world. Bethesda are amazing at making worlds. They are really great at it, believe me. I just think they need to make the map a bit bigger, not to Witcher 3's massiveness, just fill it more, make it slightly bigger, and I think that'll do most people. Just don't make it 2 minutes to get to one end of the map to the other. It's a bit embarrassing, that was. But better world, yeah, I think that's alright. A new engine. I think this is a must too, because the current engine isn't that great. It's not very optimized in my opinion. Fallout 4 was a bit shaky for me, and it wasn't performing very well. But I believe that a new engine would be better, to be honest. But then again, the creation kit might disappear because of that, and I'm not too sure about that. No voice protagonist. I think that is a must. Having a voice protagonist sort of takes your immersion away, because he's speaking, you're actually role-playing this person. So I think no voice protagonist is pretty important, yes, especially for like an Elder Scrolls game where you can be so many races. So I definitely think having a voice protagonist is not the way to go. So that has been my Elder Scrolls 6 wishlist. Thank you for watching, and I heard that there's going to be a Skyrim remaster, which I hope is not the case, because I have played Skyrim a lot, and I need something new. And yes, so like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. This has been Metal Monster. Goodbye. I have made a Patreon page, so if you think I am the dog's bollocks, please check it out and donate a bit of money to me just to help me out with all these videos I'm making. I'm going to be continue making videos for ages, so yeah, please check it out. Thank you.